there. My name's Janine.
And my name is Rew.
And we're from the San Antonio River Authority. The other day, we were walking on the trail near Confluence Park, where the San Pedro Creek meets up with the San Antonio River.
We saw some awesome wildlife along our walk, but we also noticed these huge piles of trash.
Now, how do you think all that trash ended up in the river?
I think it's time for a litter investigation.
To find out how that trash ended up in the creek, we first need to investigate what happens to rain when it falls on the land. Let's start in a typical neighborhood.
When it storms, the rainwater runs off impervious surfaces, including roofs, driveways, sidewalks, and streets.
These surfaces don't allow the rainwater to soak into the ground, so it runs right off them and into
storm drains.
These storm drains do a great job of keeping people and their homes safe from flooding by carrying all that water back into our creeks and streams.
Okay, but how does the litter end up there?
Well, anything on land. Car oil, dog poop, fertilizers, and yes, litter flows with that rainwater during a storm. And guess where the rain takes it?
Down the storm drains, into our creeks and streams, and the San Antonio River?
Yep, that's right. All that litter goes with the flow. And it happens across the entire watershed during each rainstorm.
You might be wondering, what is a watershed?
A watershed is an area of land where, when it rains, that rainwater runs off the land and drains into the same place. In our case, that rainwater runs into our local creeks and the San Antonio River. This is a model of our San Antonio River watershed. The red lines indicate highways, the blue lines indicate creeks and rivers, and the bumps show the elevation changes in the land.
Our river starts its journey at a natural spring called the Blue Hole, just north of downtown San Antonio. Notice how all the rivers and creeks, including San Pedro Creek, flow into the San Antonio River as it winds its way south for 240 miles.
Finally, it merges with the Guadalupe River and enters the San Antonio Bay. Now back to our litter problem. Let's use this bottle of cocoa powder to represent litter on the ground.
Litter, like styrofoam cups, gum wrappers, plastic water bottles, and cigarette butts.
Let's see what happens to litter on the land when it rains anywhere in our watershed. What do you predict will happen? So, what ended up happening to all that litter?
All of the rainwater carried it into local creeks and the San Antonio River, even down to San Antonio Bay.
So we know we have a pollution problem, but what can we do to solve it? Here at the River Authority, we like to say, clean land equals clean water. There are three main ways to keep our land and water free of litter. The first is to put our trash in its proper place, the trash can or the recycling bin.
The second is to safely pick up any litter that we find, even if it's not our own.
The third is to educate our friends, family, and community about how they can join us in keeping our local waterways clean.
There are so many ways you can spread the word, and here are some of our favorites.
One way to show your friends and family how our watershed works is by building your own. You're going to need a few supplies for your watershed: a large, shallow pan, a blue marker, aluminum foil, a spray bottle with water, some cocoa powder, cinnamon, or ground coffee, a bunch of items like glasses, jars, mugs, measuring cups, and cans. Place your glasses, jars, and other objects in the pan from tallest on one side to shortest on the other side. And cover the whole thing with aluminum foil. Gently push the foil down to create a model of a natural landscape with hills and valleys. Step back and admire your creation. Use a blue marker to trace the path that you think water will flow on your model. This represents the San Antonio River. Ask a friend or family member to sprinkle cocoa powder, cinnamon, or ground coffee on the aluminum foil to represent litter on the land, just like we did with our watershed model earlier. Then, let them use the spray bottle to simulate a rainstorm. Join your friends and family as they watch the rainwater carry the litter from the land and into your river. Do you think they'll be surprised by what they discover? Seeing a watershed in action is a great way to connect the dots.
Do you like to draw or paint? Another way to spread the litter message is by making a sign and placing it in your community where people can see it. But my favorite way to spread the message is through music. I composed a song in order to teach others about how they can take action to prevent litter from entering our river. Feel free to sing along.
Trash, and don't you let it splash. Number 2, pick up litter that you find. That's just part of being kind. Number 3, talk to your community. Tell your friends and family about this pledge and how to act. Together we can make an impact. Don't let the litter, don't let the litter trash our river, trash our river. I won't let the litter, I won't. Trash pledge. This is our trash pledge. Don't let the litter, don't let the litter trash your river, trash your river.
Thank you for joining us to learn about our watershed, the pollution problem, and what we can do to prevent it from happening.
Don't let litter trash your river.
How will you get the message out?
Keep learning, and we'll see you at the river.